Hello, this is a really powerful NLP technique for overcoming call reluctance or fear of cold calling. So if you've got to call someone or you've got to go and see someone and you feel nervous about it, this would work. So what you do is, the first thing you do is imagine you being in a position or a situation where you're really successful and powerful. So you can either go back to a time when that really happened, or you can even imagine it. It's the same thing, both work just as well. And what you do is you imagine or see how you looked at the time. So you'd see yourself in the picture rather than outside the picture. You'd see it as a moving picture rather than stills. You'd see it in vivid colour. You'd see it large and up close rather than far away. You'd see it framed. You'd see it moving. I think I said that. So you'd see it very vividly. You would hear all the things you would hear in that successful state. So you'd hear all the people telling you how well you'd done. You'd hear sounds that were loud, that were rhythmic. And you'd imagine all the things going on in your head that you can hear. And similarly, you'd remember or imagine how you felt. So you'd imagine the feeling of success, the feeling of sort of exhilaration and tingling and well-being. And you can even go so far as to imagine where you would feel these feelings and whether they're moving inside you. So the more vividly you can put yourself in that position, the better. So now what you do is you imagine you've got a small gold ring in your pocket or in your bag or about your person, and you throw that on the floor and you imagine it expands to the size of a hula hoop, and you step inside it, and as you step inside it you recall or put yourself into those feelings and images of success and power. And you imagine this hula hoop or ring bursting into flames. And as they sort of flame up all around you, you come to a peak of intensity in terms of your feeling of power and success and exhilaration and well-being. And you imagine these flames coming right up round your head, round your neck, your head, your ears, etc. And they can't touch you because you're so successful and powerful that these flames can't actually do anything to you. And as you sort of reach a peak of intensity of this feeling of well-being and success and power, you step back out of the ring and you imagine the flames dying back down again. And then you imagine shrinking the hula hoop back to the size of a ring, and you imagine picking the ring back up and either putting it in your top pocket or your bag or whatever it was you had it stored about your person. And so now what happens is, if you wanted to make, say, an important call and you felt nervous about it, what you do is you pull out the ring, you throw it on the floor, you imagine it erupting into flames as you step into it, and it's called an NLP anchor. And what will happen is you'll recapture those feelings of power and success and well-being that you had previously, and it will put you back into this sort of powerful, resourceful state. And then you'll feel much more confident about, doing whatever it is that you were nervous about. And one variant of this that would work very well is you can imagine, say you've got a really important client or customer that you go to visit that you feel nervous about, or just imagine that you leave your invisible little gold ring on the floor just inside their front door. And every time you go into their building, imagine that it spreads out into a hoop and erupts into flames, and you step into it as you step through the front door. And then you pause for a while to let all these feelings of power and success and confidence invade you. And then you imagine the flames die down again as you step out and you go into your meeting. So basically this technique really works. It's called an NLP anchor, and it's a way of recovering those feelings of power or success. So you can either recall a specific incident when you were really successful and really proud of what you've done. But as I say, you can also just imagine it. It works just as well, because the subconscious mind deals exactly the same with an imagined scenario as with a real one. Once it pictures it and feels it and experiences it, it's there in the subconscious mind. So it's called the Circle of Fire. Try it and hopefully you'll like it. If you wanted to know how you could get other ideas that could help you be successful in your business, by the way, have a look at businessroundtableuk.co.uk. There's an explanation there of how mastermind groups work, which you might find interesting. Okay, thanks very much for watching.